Welcome back, everybody. Hope you all having a blessed day. And let me tell you, I went to go see this movie right after Scary Movie from Day to Day. So I needed to see something good. And thankfully, my expectations were met. Went to go see Pressure. The plot of the film is pretty simple. It's about a meteorologist and his team trying to figure out when to launch the infamous attack on the Germans, also known as D-Day. Yeah, it was a war movie. I was looking forward to this, and yep, like I said, it was a good movie. The acting, hands down, best part of the film. Brendan Fraser, thank you. Brendan Fraser gave an excellent performance as Eisenhower. I love how you could tell that while he needed to be a stern leader, he was also carrying immense guilt. You could just see it on his face. He's trying to do the best he can given the very tense situation of deciding when to essentially try to end this war. Andrew Scott, as our meteorologist, was very soft-spoken throughout most of the film. He also gave the impression that he really didn't want to be there and he isn't really well liked, but at the same time, you kind of get it because he had prior commitments, which I loved, especially since he actually lives up to the title, Pressure. As the movie progresses, he has to deal with challenges and unexpected circumstances that come to him, and he tries to cope with it, tries to keep it inside of him until eventually he just can't keep it in, and he releases all of his emotion in one pretty standout scene in the entire movie, which is also the turning point for the decisions that would eventually become history to us. The story was easy to follow, and as I said before, it's very tense. We're supposed to see if the battle is going to happen or whether or not. Now, if you know history, you'll know when D-Day was supposed to happen, but it actually does give a lot of great insight as to what could have been. One of my other favorite parts is the editing. I loved how they incorporated sounds of a clock to ticking to show when the days would end, and the overall just sense that time was running out and things needed to be done. Otherwise, we were most likely going to lose. The ending was quick and put a nice bow on the entire movie. The D-Day creation that happened when it was set was pretty cool, but I do think it was a little tacked on to give something a little flashy when a movie like this, where it's just people talking in meeting rooms, I didn't think that was necessary. And in fact, I think it added time that it didn't need to show, but to each their own. And for a movie about D-Day, it only stays at one location, and I have to say that things could have been different, especially with important moments in this film where it shows that all the information was needed for these people to decide when the invasion needed to happen. And I never knew that, so it was pretty cool to see that. There was also a subplot in here, which I don't think it was necessary, but it was also nice. You give a better connection to Andrew Scott's character, even though I argue that during this time, especially World War II, it's just very easy to connect with the Americans and French that were trying to decide when to lead an invasion against the Germans. Overall, this movie was awesome. A great watch with the tense build-up, amazing performances, and a plot that angles D-Day as one of the most important moments in World War II, because I have to emphasize, had these people not worked with figuring out what the weather was going to be on D-Day, history could have been very different. And I connect to this film more with me being a devout Christian. It's almost as if Jesus himself came and allowed our brave soldiers to invade when they were supposed to, because while we may have a plan, following God's plan is the only way for us to honor him and to save the world from one of the greatest evils that ever came. So overall, I give Pressure an 8.5 out of 10. Alright guys, you made it to the end. It's a shame that I feel not a lot of people know about this movie. I recommend you go watch it. It's an easy watch. I think you'll like it. It's hard to find things that are... I do think that you could watch other war movies and get the same sort of emotion, but it's just a different angle, and I get this, it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but I do recommend you go watch this. Definitely over Scary Movie. Please do not go watch Scary Movie. But anyway, thank you all so much. Have a blessed day.